Let's see, I've ranted about iPadOS, watchOS is pretty good, I found some tiny changes there, and I love iOS 16. But Drew, are you doing a rant video or a praise video on macOS Ventura? Oh, I don't put the Mac betas on my machines, that's way too dangerous, because what if my exports don't work and then I can't get my work done? No, Drew, you literally put Ventura on your iMac Pro a month ago. Dub was not a month ago. Check your calendar app. Oh my god, it's been a month? Yeah, so rant or hyperview. Well, I guess I forgot I updated. That means the changes must be so major. Let's talk about my favorite feature in macOS Ventura, continuity camera. So yeah, there were a couple of tweaks with Ventura aside from this one, like the redesigned settings app. Even the About This Mac section has been redesigned. It looks a bit cleaner. All fairly minor changes in my opinion. Stage Manager sucks even on a 27-inch display, so I don't need to dive more into that. But continuity camera absolutely has to be one of the coolest new Apple ecosystem features that just tightens the screws on pinning us down within Apple's walled garden, because this works so dang seamlessly. So okay, how does it work? Basically, if your iPhone is nearby and it's running iOS 16, so I apologize if you have an iPhone 7 or older, you won't be able to utilize this feature, but as long as the iPhone basically has Wi-Fi on and is nearby your Mac, but you don't have to be that close, as you'll soon discover, your Mac will basically treat it as another video capture device. So this is very easy to turn on in FaceTime. Literally, as soon as you update to Ventura and you open it, it will ask, hey, do you want to use your iPhone as a webcam? And you can say yes or no, and no matter what you say there's just a little video drop-down menu that should have the FaceTime camera if you have a Mac that has those built in, or the iPhone video camera should show up as an option. In fact, if you have a Mac Studio or Mac Mini, it might just straight up default to that because they don't have FaceTime cameras built in. The iPhone will make this little chime every time it gets accessed. But the weird thing is, it doesn't show anything. Like, if your iPhone is off, even if it's 5 or 10 feet away from your Mac will instantly just pick it up and start displaying your iPhone's video feed. As far as I can tell, this is a 1080p, 30 frames a second video feed that seems pretty sharp and pretty stable, even without a wired connection. And yes, you can use it wired, but similar to Sidecar, it really doesn't give you a way to verify whether it's being used wirelessly or wired. So you just plug in your iPhone and hope that it's using a wired connection, but in the past couple times I've live streamed with continuity camera, the feed seems pretty good, and then like 20 minutes in, the phone will start to get pretty hot, and then it'll play that chime again, and it'll freeze on the computer. So I have a feeling that either because of the lightning port being there, or maybe this feature is just using up a lot of power, that ends up disconnecting the wired option, and it will suddenly fall back to a Wi-Fi option. And because macOS Ventura is still in beta, that's typically when my iMac Pro will disconnect from the Wi-Fi, which is obviously not great because you're probably using this thing to either talk to people in video calls or because you're live streaming through an application like OBS. So I hope those heating issues and I hope those kinds of bugs can be resolved before this goes into final release, but the easiest thing about adding it to OBS is literally just adding a new video capture device, and boom, your iPhone camera is an option in that drop-down menu right next to FaceTime. So that means that yes, you can use continuity camera for Zoom or Skype. It doesn't have to just be FaceTime applications. And to get those different viewing options like Center Stage or Studio Light, you just go to Control Center in the top right corner of your Mac and you can turn those on. Now, Center Stage has to use the ultra-wide lens, which means it's going to be a bit less sharp. You know, it's digitally zooming in on you as you walk around. So it's cool that you can add that to practically any Mac now, but it will come at the cost of the overall quality. And at this point, there's no way to just use the ultra-wide lens with Center Stage turned off. You have to use either the main lens on your iPhone, which looks the best, or Center Stage with the ultra wide. You can't access the telephoto. I'm not sure why you would, but in case you're wondering, you can't. But you can turn on portrait mode video or Studio Light, which looks pretty cool, and the display on the iPhone will not even turn on. It just plays that little chime and boom, your Mac just starts to access it no matter what application you're using. So the one thing that really blew my mind about this feature is the fact that it works so far away from the Mac. Like, yeah, they're gonna release accessories later in the year that allow you to mount your iPhone directly to your MacBook or iMac, or for Pro Display XDR, because that's what we needed, right? A $1,000 webcam to go with our $6,000 monitor setup. So they say it has to be nearby the Mac, but I can take the iPhone and walk to the other side of the room, and the Mac is still able to receive a very solid video signal. In fact, I didn't start to see it lag or start buffering until I got like 15 or 20 feet away from my iMac Pro, and that doesn't have as good a Wi-Fi chips as my MacBook Pro. So once I get macOS Ventura on my M1 Max machine, I'm hoping it actually performs even better. But this could be a perfect little live stream rig if you're planning on doing that kind of content in the future, because the live streaming or even recording applications you use on the phone oftentimes will be more limited and not give you that many bitrate options or compression options or stream overlay options as the Mac applications do that have OBS. But as long as you're able to use that really solid camera with your iPhone and it's beaming that signal to your Mac, you can take advantage of that Pro software and that way better camera, and it doesn't require any kind of special setup, special wires or anything. It just works. And not everything with Apple just works, but continuity camera seems to pretty dang well. Assuming that the heating issue gets resolved and those Wi-Fi disconnect bugs can be fixed. But I'm very impressed with it, and I hope you guys can find some good use for it as well. Even if you're just recording content off of your phone, this allows you to skip the import process, right? You don't have to record a video and then airdrop it to your Mac. You can just record it directly through OBS, and boom, as soon as you hit stop recording, the file is already on the computer ready to edit. So I hope you guys enjoy it when macOS Ventura launches officially in the fall. And no, the desktop view that everyone keeps asking about is still not working for me. It's a blurry, pixelated mess. So that's something else they're probably gonna have to fix way later down the road. I don't know how they're gonna fix it. It looked really cool in their keynote, but I haven't been able to replicate that no matter where I place the iPhone. So let me know what you plan on using continuity camera for down in the comments below. This is your Apple Sheep here. I'll see you all in the next one.